If you're tired of spending $5 at the grocery store for a loaf of sandwich bread that tastes subpar and is full of ingredients that you can hardly pronounce, or if you're making your own sandwich bread in your bread machine and you're not really happy with it, I'm sharing my secrets to my favorite everyday sandwich bread using my bread machine. I'm Donna, and I'm all about maximizing flavor with minimum fuss. And this recipe for the ultimate everyday sandwich bread is your answer because it delivers real food for busy people. And it's only going to take you 5 minutes to assemble the ingredients. You're going to love it. Let's talk about the ingredients. This recipe is very simple. It has simple ingredients. You probably have them in your pantry already. You're going to need flour, bread flour. In my last white bread video, many of you asked me if you could use all-purpose flour instead of bread flour, and you can, but you're going to give up some things if you do. Bread flour has additional protein, which gives the bread structure. If you don't use bread flour in your sandwich bread, it will not rise as well, and you'll have a less chewy texture. If you like that and you're good with it, go ahead and use the all-purpose flour, and you can test it out and see which one you prefer. But it's my recommendation that you use bread flour. Now we're going to talk about what is perhaps my most important tip, and that is measuring the flour. We're starting with a kitchen scale. It's critical to measuring the flour correctly. Once you turn on your scale, you will need to clear the weight by hitting the tare button. And that brings us down to 0 in terms of what the measurement is. Then just add your flour. 1 cup of flour should weigh 120 grams. Just add your flour until you get to 360 grams because we need to have 3 cups of flour for this recipe. At 334 grams right now. There you have it, easy peasy. The wet ingredients go in first, and the water should be lukewarm. I call it baby bottle warm water. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold. Cold water will inhibit the growth of the yeast, and hot water will kill it. So you just need that special warm area. So just pour in your warm water. I also like to add my melted butter at this point. 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Add the salt. The salt is 1.5 teaspoons of table salt, and add your salt with the liquid ingredients because you want to keep your salt away from your yeast for as long as you possibly can. Next, we're going to add sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, granulated sugar. The sugar feeds the yeast, helps it to grow, and also gives a nice flavor to your bread. And then add your flour to your pan. And I like to spread the flour around so that it's rather even. And then sprinkle in your 1.5 teaspoons of bread machine yeast across the top of the flour. Now we're going to get this machine started, and then we're going to go back and check it. And why are we going to check it? Because we want to make sure the consistency of the dough is just right for our bread. This is where the art of using your bread machine comes in. It's because humidity will change the amount of liquid that you actually need in your bread. And you want to make sure that your dough has the right consistency for the right rise and the right texture. So humidity is important. If you live in a very dry area, you're probably going to have to add a little more water. If you live in a very humid area or it's a humid time of year, you may want to add a little bit more flour. So we're going to plug in our machine, get it started, and then come back and check and take a look. Now we're using the dough cycle. The dough cycle is going to just bring the dough through its first rise. And the reason for that is because I really am kind of a traditionalist at heart, and I love to bake my bread in a loaf pan in my oven and not have it done in the machine. I prefer the way that it comes out by baking it in a loaf pan in the oven. I'm going to select the dough cycle, which is number 8 on my machine, and then hit start. It's going to take about 1 hour and 20 minutes to go through the whole cycle, but we'll check it before that. It's been about 10 minutes, so it's time for us to check the dough. And we're looking for what it's doing in the pan as well as its consistency. And I can see by looking at the dough in the pan that it's not sticking to the sides of the pan, that it's cleaning off the sides of the pan well, and that's what you want to see. I'm going to poke it now and see if it gives, which it does. This dough looks like it's at the right consistency for me. If your dough was too sticky, really sticking to the sides of the pan and looking very shaggy, you'd want to add a little bit of flour, a tablespoon of flour at a time. And if it looks too dry and crumbly, or it has no give to it at all, it feels like a very hard ball, you're going to want to add a little bit more warm water, a tablespoon at a time. Just a small adjustment can mean all the difference in the results of your bread. Once your dough cycle completes, you'll want to grease a metal loaf pan. I just use a solid shortening like Crisco to grease my pan so that it will release easily from the pan. I also like to spray olive oil on my hands so that it's easy for me to manipulate the dough. Remove your pan from the machine. Remove the paddle. And then you don't really need to fuss about the formation of your loaf. Just roll the dough over onto itself. Tuck in your ends and place it into your loaf pan. Easy peasy. I also like to cover my loaf pan with some plastic wrap that I spray with olive oil. And this handy dandy sprayer that I got on Amazon really helps. I'll link that for you in the description. And then just cover the pan loosely. And we'll set this pan aside to rise again till the loaf doubles in size. It'll probably take 30 to 45 minutes. It really depends on the temperature in your home at the time. Then we'll bake our bread in our 350 degree preheated oven for about 30 minutes. With our dough perfectly risen, we're ready to go into our preheated 350 degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, or until the internal temperature reaches 190 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. When I turn my bread out onto this rack, one of the fun things that happens is that I get indentations in the side of the bread that actually act as guides when I'm slicing my bread for sandwiches. But you should look for one like this, perhaps. I just turn my bread out and leave it to cool on its side. Can't wait to cut in there and have a taste, show you how lovely it is. My bread is still just a tiny bit warm, but I'm a little impatient, so I want to cut into it. I'll show you a close-up of the marks that are guides now from the rack. Make a nice little cut. I always use a serrated knife. And there you can see this is the heel end. So nice. Cut another slice. Is it beautiful? I bet you can't wait to take a bite. I'll do it for you. Lovely consistency. Make this bread. It's nice and springy.